In Java, sometimes we need to compare objects based on specific criteria. That's where the comparable interface comes in handy. It allows us to define a natural or custom order for our objects. Hello and welcome to Zoro Code channel. In today's video, I'll talk about comparable interface in Java. Comparable is a Java functional interface that will give the ability to an object to be compared with other objects, and this comparison can be used then to order a list of objects. If you are wondering what is a functional interface is an interface that has only one abstract method. For more details, I invite you to watch my video about functional interfaces where I elaborate further on this concept. As you can see here, comparable is a functional interface. It has only one single abstract method. It uses generic type, and this generic type indicates to which object the class implementing comparable is being compared to. For example, if you have a class of type cat and you want your cat to be compared with other cats, the code to do that will be the following. The class cat must implement comparable interface with generic type of class cat. Here, I will compare the object's cats by their weight. Let's consider weight as an instance variable of type double, and then we implement our method compare_to. I'm gonna need a getter to retrieve the weight variable from other cat, and then the implementation of compare_to method is the following. This logic will help ordering, for example, a data structure of objects cat in ascending or descending order depending on the weight of your instance. One of the most common use of comparable interface is when we compare strings. Let's jump back to our editor and see how we compare strings with compare_to. String is a class that implements comparable. Let's consider two strings, bonjour and hello. If we call compare_to method on bonjour, taking as argument hello, we'll get -6. And that's because if we go to string class definition, we'll find that it implements comparable interface. See here, the generic type is string. It's logic because strings will only be compared to strings, and in the implementation of the method compare_to, we understand after reading this Java doc that string is returning 0 if both strings are equals, negative number if the string on which we call compare_to is lexicographically less than the other one, and a positive number in the default case. That's why comparing bonjour and hello is returning negative number, because capital B comes first in lexical order. And obviously, we'll get a positive number in the other case if we are comparing hello with bonjour. Now we are done with string comparison. Let's imagine another real-life scenario. Let's consider that you work as a software engineer in finance and you have an object trade, and your product manager is asking you to develop a new feature in which the trades will be sorted on their quantity. To do that, let's consider a class trade that implements comparable with a generic type trade. Let's define two instance variables ID and quantity. We generate a constructor having quantity as argument and getter on quantity. If two trades are having the same quantity, the output of compare_to will be 0. If the other trade's quantity is larger than our trade, we return a negative number, and in the default case, we return a positive number. And to see the effects of comparable, I'll create three trades. Object trade 1, trade 2, and trade 3. I need to implement toString method to print the result. If we print a list of 3 trades, we get this as output, and as you can see, the trades are not sorted yet. But if I use the static method sort of collections, that will sort our trades in natural order, which is the ascending order, and also depending on which criteria you specified in the implementation of compare_to in objects trade. Now if I print my list, I'll get my data sorted on the quantity. I wanted to add that sorting can only be applied on objects that implements comparable. Here, for example, if I remove the ability of being comparable from my object trade, and I go back and run the following code, I will get this exception. And that's because sort method does not have the information on how you want to sort your data. So in case you want to sort your collection, it's mandatory that your collection contains objects implementing comparable. That was all about comparable, and our video comes to its end. Please help us with a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel to help us grow, and see you in a new video.